I usually have a lot of dreams about painting, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh, I saw this painting. Who probably is it? And I'm like, oh, it doesn't have an owner, it's mine. And then I start the painting, and the hard thing is like making my hands do what my mind wants. And this is the learning process. We're here in São Paulo, in Vila Mariana, my studio. A very important place for me, maybe the most important place in my life. My work is based on the pantheon of Orishas inside of some African and Afro-Latin religions. I have a very personal relationship with the Orishas, and my way of celebrating them and having connection with them is through offerings I do with paintings. It starts with writing. The writing is basically explaining to myself the environment. With that environment, I can discover what deity I want to paint. Sometimes I don't know what deity I'm painting that is actually on my mind or my heart, because I truly believe that sometimes they allow me to paint them. It's not a choice. I can explain how the figure is looking at me, how the figure is moving. I can create a mood. And with that mood, I'll start a set of drawings, lots of sketches. And then it goes to the physical part in terms of like creating the dress. So I have a little model that is like 30 centimeters, and I start putting thoughts in them till they become something to part that I love, to imagine. Then I see the results and I get really proud, like, oh, this came out of my mind. Painting is actually the fastest because I already know what I'm going to paint. The painting is the result. It's a part of it, usually a fragment of that story, but it's actually the materialization of that, which I think it describes the way that I learned how to paint in terms of reading about artists that use studies and did all of that process. I tried to mimic the Renaissance as much as I could to learn how to do those things. I grew up in a very religious city. I had the church, and seeing people kneeling and praying in front of paintings and drawings and sculptures, I knew that creating that portal, it was something that I really wanted to do. My aunt told me, you have to come to São Paulo because there's something very special that is going to happen to you. So I came to São Paulo and my life changed. Never painted in my life because I basically trained with my eyes, seeing the books and everything. And when I touched the canvas, it was like I painted my whole life. That for me was the most religious experience I've ever had. I never received an Orisha in my body, but for me, that was a way of them telling me something. I realized that my relationship with them was very direct, and I had my own personal way of practicing faith, which was painting, which was my art. I want to do everything that I feel it's beautiful and it relates to things that I want to say in a very honest way. I'm at a moment in my career that I don't want to make works to impress, because I think I did that before, and I think it's important to have a painting that you know it's going to stop people on their tracks. But I think now I want simple things to become beautiful, and I want the simplicity of things. I want the easygoing part of creating something because I think it's honest. I created something that is totally mine. This was a realization and a very special moment for me.